welcome back for the Week 11 video. Glad to have you guys watching this again. So this week, we got a bunch of great games on the slate. Our regular season champ, in case of a tie of two teams with the same record, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're basically going to, let's say two teams end up 10-3. Those two teams are going to split the pot. They'll go down as co-champs, but for playoff seeding, it'll go based off of total points scored. However, for last place in the league, if two teams have the same record, just the team with the lowest amount of total points will be the one that will officially be last place, and that will be the team that will be paying the charity fee. So tiebreakers are going to be total points scored for each team. That will be the deciding factor on two teams with the same record. The only case that won't be true will be if there is two rivals, such as, let's say, we'll use myself and Derek. If me and Derek were going to end up the same record, but I beat him twice, that would trump the head-to-head. So let's hear from Don. I know that after last week's great game of the week matchup, he took down Connie to go to 9-1, and Connie fell down to 7-3, tied with me and Evan. So let's go ahead and hear from Don and see what he has to say.
Hey, I wanted to just give a shout out to that results of that great game of the week last week between me and Connie. Game wasn't good enough to be done in just 60 minutes. What do we know? It takes the entire overtime to decide that match. That was great because really what happened is two of us kept our streaks going. I was able to keep my streak of 3 wins, and Connie's got his streak of 3 losses. Looks like Connie went from first to second to possibly fifth at the end of this week. But he should be able to hold on and make the playoffs. Let it be helpful for me to get to stay in first place and have a chance to have that all-important matchup with Donnie at the end of the season. All right, thanks.
Okay, so this week we're going to do a very brief playoff picture for the league just to kind of let everyone know where they're at. Next week we're going to be going more in depth because we're going to have a better idea of the playoff picture. So basically, we have our eliminated teams. Those are Jake and Mark. Guys, it's over for you guys. We have our barely alive category. So I have 3 teams sitting in here to where, they could get in. It's not looking great. We have Rachel, Calvin, and Derek. So we'll start off with Rachel. She probably has the best chance. She still mathematically can finish as high as the 4th seed. However, she could also finish as low as last in the league still. She would need to most likely win out. Calvin and Derek, the best they could finish is 6th right now in the league. They could finish as low as 12th. The loser of this week when they play is going to be mathematically eliminated, and the other person will still be hanging around, but just by a thread. So there's 3 teams that are on the bubble. Those are going to be Zach, Karthik, and Kaylee. For Karthik to get in, he just needs to finish 1 game better than Kaylee, and that's all it's going to take. So he can finish as high as 2nd and as low as 11th still. Same goes for Kaylee. She can finish as high as 2nd in the seeding, as low as 11th. She just needs to finish 1 game better than Karthik, so win this week and you're in a great spot. Or come up with the same amount of wins as him, but she will need to finish the season with more total points. With 6 wins, Zach's sitting at the 5 spot in the league. Multiple ways Zach can clinch a spot. He wins this week and next versus Karthik. Basically, he's just rooting for one of the 2 teams that are 5-5 to lose 2 out of their 3 final games, and he'll be sitting pretty. Next, the win in your in group. Okay, so there's 3 of us that are sitting here at a 3-way tie for 2nd place in the league, which not a lot of times that this has happened going into week 11, so this is pretty exciting. Connie, right now, he could still finish as the 1st seed and could finish as low as 7 and miss the playoffs, but it's going to be highly unlikely that any of us 3 miss the playoffs. Connie has now dropped 3 straight, and it could be a 4th this week. Evan has actually one of the tougher schedules left in the league. He could still finish as high as the 1st seed, as low as 7th, just like Connie. He plays the number 3 scoring team in Zach this week, the highest scoring team in my dad next week, and then the 5th highest scoring team in the league, Jake, the last week of the season. And we know Jake's going to probably be trying to look to pull that upset. Him and Zach are pretty evenly matched teams, and then Don and Evan, that's a rivalry, so they're going to be bringing the heat that week. So tough finish up for Evan. Out of the 3 of us, I'm probably sitting in the toughest spot to grab the 2 seed or even the 1 seed. I can still finish as high as 1st in the league. I can finish as low as 7th based on the way things shake out. I have Connie this week, followed up by Derek and then Don. left on my schedule. All I need is to probably grab that 8th win to make the playoffs. And just to make sure everyone knows, as of right now, you may not need 8, but if you get 8 wins guarantees you a playoff spot. So that's the magic number. All right, lastly, we only have one team that's officially clinched. It's my dad. He can finish as high as 1st in the league, as low as 3rd. He is now at 9 wins. Don just needs one more win to clinch a first-round bye. With 2 wins, though, Don will go ahead and clinch the number 1 overall seed in the playoffs. All right, so for the Game of the Week matchup this week, we have 2 of my really close friends. We have Calvin and Derek going head-to-head. Both these teams are 3-7. It has not been a pretty year. Before the season, I looked at it and I was like, wow, this looks like it's going to be a great matchup at the end. Not so much, but hey, you know what? We're playing to stay alive in the playoff race. It's going to be an ugly game, but in a close one, I think that Fisher grabs the win, but is it probably going to matter? Not really. Season's over, guys.
Let's go ahead and see what Calvin and Derek have to say about this week's matchup.
Hey, Kaylee, who did Peyton Manning play for?
The Patriots.
Coming for you, Calvin. Gonna beat that ass. Go Cowboys.
All right, thanks, guys. Also, Fisher, that's an interesting voice for a guy your size.
So the officially cannot be revoked, stone cold, cannot be wrong, eternally binding, and emotionally crippling invite to the Pit of Misery this week goes to Derek Fisher. All right, man. You're one of my best friends, so I feel okay kind of poking some fun at you here. This has been a terrible season, man. Your team sucks. It's the lowest scoring team in the league. You couldn't even manage to draft a quarterback that was still playing on an NFL roster at the start of the season. And that basically, honestly, just set the tone for your whole season the way that went down. With only 3 wins this year, I don't know how many more you're going to get left on the schedule. So let's break them down a little bit. He was our 2016 league champ. So, hey, that's something a lot of you can't say, and that gives him bragging rights. However, he is the 3rd person invited to the Pit of Misery this year. So he's 5-3 versus Kartik overall, which is one of his rivals, and 3-5 versus myself. Let's just go ahead and count on that and go into probably 3-6. You're 0-2 versus Kaylee as a rival, which that's the only person that Kaylee is beaten both years in the league, so that's not good. You are 46-40. So at 86 games played, that is the 6th longest tenure in the league. So hey, I gotta say this. Thanks for playing all these years. I've enjoyed having you around. Next week, we got some exciting stuff coming out. It's going to be our 2nd of our rivalry week, so everyone will be playing their secondary rival this week. So we're going to be having a little bit of smack talk in next week's video. Should be a lot of fun, and looking forward to what you guys have to say. So anyways, good luck everyone in this week's games, except you, Connie. It's going down.